lot of people have been asking questions that the Minister of Digital Economic, Minister of Communication and Digital Economies, ß Pantami, the allegations against him of his ties with terrorists and the statement he has made and all of that. Because before you can be made a minister, they have to check your profile and you have to go through the Senate for you to be cleared. They have to clear you, ask you some things. But of course, we know that with the system we have, anything goes. And people are asking that how the DSS clear terrorist apologies for ministerial appointments. The DSS will clear, the National Assembly also, they always go there. Is it not they say bow and go? That is what they were doing. It is not only nagging but germane, giving ß Pantami, Nigeria's Minister of Communication and Digital Economies, alleged link with Boko Haram. Penultimate week, social media have been awash with reports of President Muhammadu Buhari's minister being sympathetic of Boko Haram insurgents way back in the former President Goodluck Jonathan's government when he described the dreaded Boko Haram insurgents as Muslim brothers that shouldn't be slaughtered like pigs. When the United States government released his name among the most wanted for supporting terrorists, Al-Qaeda and other very dangerous Islamic terrorists. On the global scene, ß Pantami wasted no time in threatening libel against the media platform that reopened its dirty past. But like whirlwind, which cannot be caged, social media society took over, and now the man on the saddle in the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy is revealed a renowned Boko Haram apologist, renowned for his sympathy for Al-Qaeda terrorists, an extremist, a bigot, and a hardliner who should have nothing to do in President Muhammadu Buhari's government, particularly so that the nation has been grappling with plethora of insecurity in which his constituents are solely responsible. But how did ß Pantami pass through the scrutiny of the Department of State Security, DSS, amid the minister having tentacles in the terrorism conundrum? It baffles anyone to discover that the responsibility of DSS, an agency of government under the Ministry of Defense, among others, are responsible for intelligence gathering within the country and for the protection of senior government officials. Secondly, the DSS has constantly adapted to increased roles necessitated by evolving security threats in Nigeria, including counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency, which is within the purview to wholly scrutinize or otherwise profile government appointees in order to determine whether such appointee or appointees is or are fit to occupy the anticipated office. DSS clearance of the embattled minister betrayed its own statutory mandate and compromised expectation of Nigerians in the obvious background of the minister as a man too dangerous to occupy that strategic office. This shows that the nation has more challenges in purging certain elements from the system than military confrontation of Boko Haram insurgents and other incendiary criminalities around the country. Until Nigeria conquer the likes of ß Pantami in the system, it would be damn difficult to completely obliterate terrorists. In the last 1 week, it's been bashing and hurling against the minister, with the larger society calling for his resignation. Nigerians and the larger community are not to blame because the root cause of insecurity of terrorism could be inferred in the circumstance that the minister and many yet unknown elements found himself. He therefore shudders the conscience of mankind that he hasn't thrown in the towel from the office. Okay. How did the 66-year-old Magaji Yusuf Bichi, Director General of the Department of State Services, cleared ß Pantami as a ministerial nominee in 2019, barely a year he took over the affairs of the undercover police at the time. Pantami, having propagated Salafi doctrine, as the media recalled, a conservative form of the ideology that has a thin line with Boko Haram ideology of outright condemnation of Western education. He needed a de-radicalization before he should hold such sensitive office in trust on behalf of Nigerians. Hence, one shouldn't be aghast at the turn of events that is sympathetic for Boko Haram was unrivaled. In the translation of one among many of his sermons in Hausa to English sometime in the year 2000, Pantami was quoted to have said, "Seriatim, Nigeria's army incursion into Boko Haram strongholds, calling the rebels our Muslim brothers who did not deserve to be slaughtered like pigs. Do you see what our Muslim brothers' blood has become?" Mr. Pantami lamented in a sermon delivered a few years ago when former President Goodluck Jonathan ramped up military operations against the rangy terror set that even pig blood has more meaning than that of a fellow Muslim brother. Okay. More so, the Salafi doctrine he preached against over the years made him an anti-establishment person until his sudden change becoming a Director General of NITDA and now a senior cabinet minister, a development that was condemned in the February 2020 video by the Boko Haram kingpin Abubakar. How come the sudden change? He was further quoted saying, "We are praying to God to answer all our prayers. It is our right and obligation before all Muslim leaders, politicians, government appointees, academics." Mr. Pantami, all of us should not fold our arms and watch helplessly how they shed our Muslim brothers' blood and cheat them in vain. Mr. Pantami said Boko Haram elements should have been treated with dignity as against the deadly military campaign, saying extermination of insurgents amounted to extrajudicial killing. Even if the Boko Haram fighters commit a crime, but can we justify the way and manner they are being killed? In his reaction, his poorly media team described him as a moderate preacher, while he personally put up a hogwash defense of saying that he was being vilified because of his insistence on the registration of national identification number policy. As much as memories could recall, the policy was running full-fledged right from the time of his predecessor. How come has it become an issue that is being used to scandalize his name as he wants the world to believe? In Senate jurisdiction, he ought to have resigned from office to pave way for discreet investigation of his activities because as it were, he has credibility crisis that may affect the agency he leads. Even among the lower rungs of the ladder in the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, the expectation is for the minister to resign, and he should do that fast. Okay. Well, I think the person writing this whole thing is Samson Atekojo Usman. Is a journalist and can be treated as Atekojo. But the issue is that we know where we are in a saner environment. In a saner environment, will you see a president going to another man's country to go and rest, or not to talk of it, to go and take treatment or check up? Because they don't have shame. If we are talking about most of the things that he has said, what of Buhari that said, they work together, they know themselves, because it is in this government that we are seeing that they are pampering them. You see that Gumi, even Buhari said an attack on Boko Haram is attack on the north. You see, even when you are blaming you can't blame only the man alone, because all of them, they know what they are doing. That is why they are supporting Gumi. They love what Gumi is doing, and they will be telling us they are fighting insurgency. Nobody is going to be believing them, because all of them, somehow they are interwoven. Well, I don't like this kind of question. The question should have better been, how did terrorists gain access to the villa? Look at the appointment made by the Buhari was after the first election, but this current one was made by the terrorists put in charge of our affairs. That is why the government contains not criminal elements that can't be challenged or changed, and criminality has been the business of the day, and it has held every sector of the nation to ransom. There's no difference in the appointments made after 2015 and those after 2019. All were made by the same Islamists. Pantami passed through the scrutiny of DSS because Nigeria is a country where anything goes. Exactly. It was easy to clear Issa Pantami because the vetting was done by his co-terrorists in high positions. What is worrisome is why the Senate and the you are talking of the Senate too. Is it Ahmad Lawal that you want to talk about? I believe story. We have eyes but we can't see. We have ears but we cannot hear. We have hands we cannot fight. Our legs are there, yet we cannot see run. Just too bad. Exactly. The minister should resign. They will not resign because they know what they are doing. I think DSS should go after you too. Okay, Hausa and Fulanis don't have reputation. If our government is not ruling under law, let us see the final case for Pantami. So guys, let's hear your opinion and leave your comments down there below. Thank you.